the information I've been given on all the players that we'll know more in the next 24 hours, if that's any good to you. I'm sure you can put a twist on that, huh?
How big a miss are those guys, particularly Shane Long, Shane?
It's part of the game. With the injuries I've had over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I kind of rule the boys out anyway. And if they become available in the next day or two, particularly for the second leg, it'll be a fantastic bonus. Because with the injuries they had, they were sore ones. So, and we knew at this stage of the competition, we've gone into the game with, obviously we knew about the suspensions, and injuries is part of the course. It's just, I never thought for 1 minute we'd turn up this week and everyone would be available. It's just not possible, and that's disappointing. But there's other players who've obviously missed out. There's Quinner who've missed out, and other lads. So it's disappointing. But the boring answer is that's just all part of sport, part of football. And whatever happens, the lads who start on Friday night will give it everything they've got, and that's all we can hope for.
Do you not feel like the biggest slice of bad luck has come at the worst possible time?
No. Honestly, no. We're disappointed for the players who are missing out. But as I said, because of the injuries, it's not as if something really came up the last 1 or 2 days that has knocked us back. The last month, even with John O'Shea, you go off on a hamstring like that and it's a pull, you fear the worst for the players. So no, as I said, it's the same for lots of teams, club level, international level. Sometimes you need a bit of luck. As I said, we've got decent numbers here. We've got a good group of players who go up and give their all for Ireland on Friday night, and who's to say we won't have any problems Friday night with injuries for the second leg. And we suffered with that in the last 1 or 2 games. Lads gone off. Would it be Shea? Obviously Shane in the second game, the last game, against Poland. So, what more can I say on it?
Does it mean other guys stepping up? I'm not saying they haven't in the past, but Brady, Coleman.
But we've had that throughout the group. We've had situations where players obviously no doubt have been injured, and we've asked lads to come and do jobs. It only seems like yesterday that Myler came in and played at right back in Germany, and then all the players available to us, whatever jobs we ask them to do, they'll give it their best. In an ideal world, you obviously want all your players available. You want players obviously playing in their favourite positions, but it's not as simple as that. I wish it was, So, when you turn up, there's no guarantees. As I said, we always give it. Even when we turned up yesterday, I always give it a day or two to see how lads settle down. Obviously, Clarkey played on Sunday. Lads played on Saturday. People like Harry Arter still coming back from a long-term injury. So you're still thinking, let's give it 48 hours, and then we'll have an idea who is available for Friday. And even after today, I'm still thinking of the lads carrying knocks from the weekend that they're not maybe even telling us about yet. So, but as I said, what we can guarantee is come Friday night, the players who start for Ireland will get everything they have, and we see what happens.
In the case of O'Shea and Elliott, what do you make of their managers effectively ruling them out? Do you understand that as a form of
I suppose so, yeah. I suppose so, but I've not really thought too much about it. It's unfortunate over the years there's politics involved with club managers and international managers. But part of me, knowing the injuries they had, in a sense, it kind of ruled them out anyway. So whatever their managers have said, club managers, I've not took too much notice of. And I'm still, as I said, we'll know more over the next 24 hours. We're still not ruling these lads out. Lots can change over next year or two. But of course, the closer it gets to the game, no doubt it makes it very difficult. But there is 2 legs to it. So whether 1 or 2 lads miss the first leg but are available for the second one, be fantastic. Because after the first game, we might get some more injuries. So. No, I've not took too much notice of what club managers say. It's ironic. Most club managers, and we've had it with other players, and not just the managers you've mentioned. When there's international weeks coming up, the players, it's ironic, always seem to be ruled out for 10 to 14 days. It's amazing. But hey, what can you do?
Side of it.
Yeah, but I have been on the other side. And what's your point with that?
No, just do you understand where they're coming from?
I think some managers will. You ask any of the players who walked under me, I never had a problem with players going to internationals. Never. I'll never rule them up for 10 to 14 days every time there's an international match. I know that.
I wasn't suggesting you did.
Sorry?
I wasn't suggesting you did.
No, but I know if players are fit, they would go in. But if players aren't fit, you've got to obviously respect the clubs. If the players aren't fit, then of course they say at their clubs. But as I said, it's ironic that they all seem to get ruled out for 10 to 14 days. And again, not just the manager you've mentioned, it's happened to a few other club managers who've been international managers themselves. But there you go.
Well, do you think those managers sometimes underestimate what playing for their country means to players? I think of John O'Shea, I know he absolutely, walk over broken glass next Monday.
Yeah, but we've got to be careful if the player's injured. As I said, John's injured. When you pull up with a hamstring like that, that's, and it's a difficult one to come back from in terms of going straight into international games. So I understand that point of view as well. Don't get me wrong. And not just Sam Allardyce, but other managers have got to look after the players at club level. And there is this attitude: if you've not played a couple of weeks before it, I've experienced before as a player, then clubs are reluctant, obviously, to let you to go away because you've not been available for your club. But then another week or 10 days does make a difference for a player to get back. But I suppose, again, my own point of view, the last few days, and even today, all I'm doing is focus on the players who are here. And if lads, we get good news in the next 24, 48 hours, obviously for the 2 games, it'd be fantastic. But I'm not getting bogged down by club managers and preferences and I suppose the politics involved in it. That's gone on. You ask every international manager, it's part of the process. We've had it before, and I'm sure we'll have it again.
Just reflecting on the last week that you were together as a group, contrasting fortunes that week, the incredible win over Germany on the Thursday, real disappointment at Poland on the Sunday.
The ups and downs of sport and of football. But I suppose the beauty this week, as you said, with the 2 games the last time, really big games for us. To beat Germany is fantastic. Players done brilliant. Didn't really perform in Poland, but still had a chance right at the end to have got there. Whereas, and there was that idea, well, if you come second and if you come third, and you might be seeing, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. Whereas this week, very straightforward. We know the job in hand. Got to go up and do the business. And if we get the results, we qualify. If we don't, but we also try and let's focus on the performance. Put in a good performance, and the result will take care of itself with a bit of luck. Sometimes things will go against you, referee's decision, but let's get 11 lads, fit and strong, ready for Friday night, and see where it takes us, and hopefully the result will take care of itself.
So it's a case of everything that happened before, it doesn't really matter whether positive or negative.
No, not really. That's that's part of sport. Now Poland is history. We could talk all day about what effect, how will that help us for this weekend. That's part of sport. I think it's sometimes the hardest part of sport. Trying to move on quickly, whether it be a defeat or a bit of success. And we had both in the last get together. But this week, we've got to make sure we get a decent result Friday so we can bounce into the game on Monday with still a lot to play for. And that's the plan. So very, very straightforward. We've got 2 games. Let's try and get good results and we qualify. If we don't, then we don't qualify.
But a playoff, Roy, a playoff is a different situation, isn't it? And a lot of these players won't have experience of a playoff. Martin has talked about the importance of an away goal and how you set out in the first leg.
Yeah, of course. But that's about managing the game. But, and as much as you said, a lot of players haven't been involved in play, but we still have a lot of experience in the group. So yes, how you manage that, of course. An away goal would be fantastic, obviously. 2 goals would be brilliant. 3, but obviously we'll monitor that as we go along. But your mindset has to be, whatever, people are going to what the result, your mindset has to be going into any game of football. I think any sports person, again, is you go out to win. You have to put, that might change during the course of the game. You might be 1 up or 1 down. You go, listen, there's 10 minutes to go, let's shut up shop. Whatever it might be. You might have a player sent off, they might have somebody sent off. You manage the game, and that's where the experience comes into from the players. But your mindset, anytime you walk up to a game of football, no matter who you are, is to win. But obviously, then, how the game goes will dictate their mindset then.
What do you remember of playoffs you were involved in? The Turkey one, for example, they got a goal in Dublin and that was 0-all second.
Yeah, obviously, that was tight, it was disappointing to go out in away goals, but that's, I go back, you can look over anybody's career, the ups and downs, the roller coaster, and before we go into the games this weekend, people are always talking about it'd be great for the country, great for the FAI, great for the fans, it'd be great for the players. It'd be great for the players. The players have to remember that. It's we're in the back room trying to help them and support them, but their families. But it'd be great for the players. Players have to go out and earn it. 2 games against a very good team. Let's go out and do our best and see what happens. And whatever's done in the background, the history, the previous playoff games, has no real effect on this bunch of current players. You can ask them in 15 or 20 years' time, no doubt, when they've finished playing. You can ask me about mine, but that has no relevance really to Friday night.
Right. No, you can't name players or teams at this stage, but just David Moyer couldn't come into the equation at all, because just the fact that it's the kind of game where you might need to grind out results. You know, he's got that kind of mental toughness. He's a hard player.
Absolutely. And Myler, listen, again, Myler, I like Myler. Obviously, I signed him, one of my better signings. But I wouldn't have been hard. But no, no, Myler's called upon. Obviously, I think he's back. He's back in the frame of Hull now. I know he's left out earlier. And I've always, every time I spoke to people, even with Myler with the Hull, and obviously the games, he'll never let you down. He's a good character, I give him that, and without analysing his technical ability, he's a good player. He'll do a good job for us. He's a strong boy, good attitude, and it's no coincidence. Every time, I know Brucey, I don't know what Brucey might think. Every time I see Hull and Hull are winning games, Myler's playing for him. I know disappointed of the relegation, but on their promotion team, Myler played a lot of games and he's back now and they're winning games, and Myler tends to be in the team, and that's a good sign. I had a player like that at Sunderland, Dean Whitehead, where people used to question him. Every time he plays, we get a good result, you know. So now Myler won't let us down if he gets involved on Friday night, and he'll have a good chance because he's playing regularly.
What about Darren Murphy?
Darren Murphy the same. I go through all the players. Murph will never let us down, and you can analyse it till the cows come off. If Murph starts on Friday night, he'll give everything for the cause. And that's it. We could be here all day, you know, analysing players' abilities and strengths and weaknesses. Of course, they're like everybody else. But in terms of attitude, Murph always contributes. And again, it might be stuff that mightn't, you know, the untrained eye might take notice of. But Murph, in terms of set pieces, doing a job for us, stretching teams. Yeah, I think the hat-trick from the weekend, no doubt, will do him the world of good. But it was always going to be hard for him to live up to what he'd done last year. He scored so many goals. And even his games for Ireland, yeah, it'd be nice for him to put the ball in the back of the net, but he's contributing and he's given 100%.
What about the Wes Hoolahan question? Because after the last day, there was question marks over whether he could play 2 games in such a short turnaround space of time. What's your view?
I think the problem with Wes was that fact he got a knock. I think fitness-wise, I think most of our lads are up to speed, but I analyse how many minutes they've played. I think the problem was the last time he got a knock in the first game, so that not his fitness level in terms of getting through night, but being fit to start, which was difficult. I know people on the outside as well. If someone's fit to be on the bench, they're fit to start. But you'd ask Wes himself, and he wasn't quite right. And it'll be the same. You're on about the players earlier, the medical. You know, whatever we go into the game on Friday, I think I'd be reluctant to start the game with 1 or 2 lads who are carrying knocks, because what we suffered is if you're making substitution after 10 or 15 minutes, your hands are tied later on in the game. But no, again, Wes is playing regularly. As I said, I think that was more of an injury issue than a fitness issue in terms of getting through 2 games. I don't think it's a problem for Wes. Sorry?
If you stop Pjanic, can you kill off Bosnia?
No, you're joking. But he's a big player for him, yeah, but got some other good players. Technically very good players playing at a very high level, Champions League, scoring Champions League. I've been really impressed with them. But every time I kind of do the media before international matches, I say the same thing. They've got some good players. So have we.
Cristiano Ronaldo came out recently and said that you had a massive impact on him at Man
Yeah, I made him. Only for me, he wouldn't be where he is. Yeah.
No, but now that you're in management, do you feel that you have to push players differently in terms of how you approach them?
I have to do what, sorry, differently?
That you have to approach players differently and how they might respond.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Obviously different players have different traits, how you speak to them, and yeah, who you shout at, who you don't. Right. I didn't shout at Ronaldo that much. I didn't have to.